The buck stops here. I need you to feel that way today. I need you to move like this from this day forward. The buck stops here. What's going on, good people? Peace be still. Listen, this is the 48th installment of Mighty Mondays with yours truly, Coach Mitchell. Listen, real quick, I'm gonna get straight into this. Look, growing up, my mom used to always say, look, stop passing the buck. Stop passing the buck. And what she meant by that was, she was like, look, whatever I tell you, you're responsible for. If you supposed to do the dishes, if you supposed to clean this or take this trash out, I want you to do it. I asked you to do it. This is what you are responsible for, right? So she'll say, like, stop passing the buck, because when she give me these things to do, sometimes I say like, hey, so sis, can you do this for me? Yo, bro, can you do this? Hey, can you do this? And she like, stop passing the buck. When I tell you to do something, stop passing the buck. And listen, I used to always wonder, like, where does she get passing the buck from? Like, what is that? Like, I've heard other people say it, and I'm like, what is that? What is it? And I remember finding out, like, the origin of this saying or whatever. So look, it comes from the old Western days, right? Where they would play cards, and whoever was dealing had a buck knife in front of them, right? He had a buck knife in front of him. So whenever it's your turn to deal, you got the buck knife in front of you, you deal, and then you pass the buck when it's someone else's turn to deal, right? You pass the buck. And whoever don't want to deal, they continue to pass the buck, right? So whoever decides to eventually deal, he says the buck stops here. The buck stops here, meaning he's going to deal. And I'm telling you now, like, I love looking back at some of the stuff that my mom taught me, and then it becomes so prevalent in present day, like it becomes so relevant, and it just, I'm so appreciative of that teaching. The buck stops here. I need you to feel that way today. I need you to move like this from this day forward. The buck stops here, meaning it's your turn to deal with it. It's your turn to deal with it. You are no longer passing the buck, meaning you are no longer blaming other people. You are no longer depending on people to do what you are supposed to do. You are no longer passing the buck. The buck stops here. The buck stops here. You have to take 100% responsibility of your ability to choose. You can choose. You can choose. That is one of the greatest gifts given to us by from the Creator. We can choose. We get to choose. And it's so beautiful, because like when I find myself in various situations and I think to myself, I say, like, what is the part that I played in getting me here? Like, what is it? What is it that I can think differently that'll give me new results? What is it that I'm doing that I could do better? The buck stops here. I'm no longer looking outward and saying, oh, but if they would have did, if they could do, I wish he could do, I wish she could do. No, what am I supposed to do? I'm going to take responsibility for my part. I'm going to become a better manager of my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I'm going to self-manage better. The buck stops here. I love y'all. Stay peaceful, and thank you for watching another installment of Mighty Mondays.